They're big and they're fluffy, they're flaky, and they're delicious. We're making blueberry scones, and let me tell you something, these blueberry scones could win awards. They are so sensational. I cannot wait to show you how to make them, and we're gonna make them in a bowl with just a few little hand tools like a spoon, a little pastry cutter, and you're gonna be able to make them in no time at all. And they are like that bakery quality where, follow my thought for a second, where something doesn't look perfect, but it's like the most perfect version of that one thing. Like these scones would never win awards for being the most beautiful things you've ever seen, but they are everything a scone should be. Flaky, nice and tall, flavorful, tender crumb, delightful. Let me run you through what you'll need because it's not very many ingredients and they're basic ones you may already have on hand. All-purpose flour and granulated sugar. To that, I'm going to add a mixture of baking powder, cinnamon, and salt. And you can absolutely do this in a standing mixer fitted with a paddle attachment, or you can do it by hand like I like to do because I don't want to overwork my, dough. Otherwise, it's not going to be that tender crumb that I like. You will also need lots of cold butter. It's really important that your butter is very cold and cut into little cubes. What you can also do, which works really, really well, is stick your butter in the freezer, like your stick of butter in the freezer for like a half an hour or so, and then grate it with one of those little hand cranked cheese graters, and that will make the job even quicker, easier, and even better. But if you don't have one of those, but you've got a little pastry cutter, you can just go ahead and use this. If you don't have a pastry cutter, use a fork and just cut the butter into that flour until it's well dispersed throughout the dry ingredients and the size resembles the size of a little French pea. See how small the butter is throughout that flour? That is what you're looking for. Now what you need to do is mix together heavy cream, 1 egg, and I like to do a splash of vanilla. Get that in there, just a splash, like that. Look at all those little vanilla beans. That's good stuff. You're gonna add this in. I'm gonna take, pastry cutter out. Now you also wanna make sure you have your oven preheating to 400 degrees. Got a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. I'm gonna pour this in, and I'm just leaving behind like a tablespoon. You see that? Because I'm gonna need that to brush over the top. I start with a fork because it allows me to get it mixed, but then I'm gonna go ahead and switch it to my hands. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but baking with frozen berries has become my go-to preferred method for any recipe that calls for a berry crumble, scones, muffins, you name it. The berries themselves are picked at the very peak of freshness, so you're always ensured that the berries are going to be yummy and sweet and delicious. But also, when you're baking them from frozen, you never want to thaw them first. As they bake and they burst, all of those natural juices kind of leak out a bit, and you really get that real true flavor of the berry. It makes such a difference. I have not really wanted to bake with fresh berries in a very long time because I find that frozen just works so much better. The only caveat is that you just have to work with them because they can be a little bit difficult to work with, meaning they can just kind of they want to be on their own. They don't want to mix together really nicely, So you just have to be patient. I mix it with my hands until the dough kind of comes together. You see how the berries kind of want to run away? But we're gonna keep them together, and I'm gonna dump this onto my surface in just a second. I want you to see this because if you're doing this by hand, like I prefer to do, you see how the dough is very shaggy, but that's a good thing. Just use the warmth of your hands to kind of pull it together. And what I also like to have nearby is one of these little bench scrapers or dough scrapers, whatever you wanna call them. And I just kind of cut the dough and pile on itself. And you can see that is already coming together and hydrating, and the flecks of butter running all the way through. That is what you want. So just take your time, you're not in any hurry. The only important thing here is that all of your ingredients are cold. So if your environment is a little bit warm, then I suggest popping the whole thing in the fridge for just a few minutes just to cool it down a bit. And you see how, like right before your eyes, it's kind of starting to come together. This would get done a lot faster in a standing mixer, but there is something lovely about doing it by hand. Before you know it, it'll come together. You see it's a little bit cracked. It's okay. That's what's going to add to those flaky layers. And sprinkle a little bit of flour when you have to. I don't even use a rolling pin to roll this out. I just use my hands. And you want them to be about a half an inch or so, a disc, about a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch in thickness. That's gonna really determine how big and fluffy your scones are. So just take your time, and if any parts sort of like crack a little, just use your hands lightly floured to just push it all back together. And you can make round scones out of this if you want to. You can make little triangles. It is really up to you. I'm gonna make triangles. So I'm just gonna go down like so, across, and then like that. And get 8 beautiful triangles. And I love the color from that burst of berry. Sensational. This is what they look like. And I mean, listen, you already know what's gonna happen when these are baked. Look at that. Look at the beautiful flakiness. We didn't compact them too much. Look at that. You can see the butter throughout. You know those are gonna be sensational. Just put them a little apart because they are going to rise as they bake. Remember that little touch of cream mixture that we reserved? You're gonna just take that with a little pastry brush and brush that all over the top. Now, you can bake these right away, but I think they're infinitely better if these can go into the fridge for about a half an hour or so. The dough will hydrate, those specks of butter will get cold again, which will just give you an extra layer of flakiness. And they'll retain more of their shape, because once these bake, they do lose a little bit of their shape, but if you can refrigerate them first, that's even better. And you can do this part the night before and then just cover them, put them in the fridge, and then bake them off the next morning nice and fresh if you're having company over or for Easter morning or anything like that. And they're pretty sensational. So once you have them all brushed with that leftover cream mixture, I'm gonna come in here. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on, I forgot my sugar. And just sprinkle with a little bit of sugar. If you have raw sugar, that would also be really lovely. I don't have any, but I just use granulated sugar, and they're perfect. I'm just gonna go and pop them in the fridge for 30 minutes, and then I'll pop them into the oven at 400 for 18 to 20 minutes, or until they're a beautiful deep golden brown color, and I will show you what they look like when they are done. These cones were in the oven for 20 minutes. Remember, I put them in the fridge for 30 minutes first. I did leave them in there like 2 minutes longer than I should have, so they were in there like 22 minutes, but it's really fine. They're just gorgeous. They were absolutely gorgeous, and refrigerating them for a bit definitely helps keep their shape way better. You can do one of two things. You can do a little glaze, which is what I did here, not equal parts, please, not equal parts. Just a little bit of powdered sugar and a little bit of water or milk, whichever your heart desires, whichever you have around. Or if you want to make these lemon, you can just replace a cinnamon with a little lemon zest, and then just use powdered sugar and lemon juice for a nice little lemon glaze. Or you can do just a little powdered sugar and you're good to go. And they're so sensational. Wait until I break into one. I'm gonna leave a couple, well, I was gonna leave a couple with just powdered sugar, but maybe I'll just do one. Let me show you. Look at how gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that interior. You know there's blueberry flavor throughout, which is so thrilling to me. That is the best part. Look at the height. It's got good height, right? Which we love. It's flaky. It's like magic. Not too sweet. The burst of blueberry gives you a little tang. They're everything and more, and they need to be on your table. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. Hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Oh yeah.